Hello and welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Montreal. Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Randy Buehler. And, well, we've got some bad news for the player on the right side of your screen, Geoff Risi. He's actually mulliganing down to 4 cards here. Now, Daniel Fournier, though, it wasn't all dreamy for him either. He's mulliganed to 6, so he's not on a perfect start, but going to 4 is a big deal.
Have you seen his deck list, though?
No, I haven't.
Oh, my goodness.
What did he do?
Fournier, he has the dream red-white.
No way.
He has the dream. So double loyal Pegasus. You know, he's got the super curve, double loyal, the impetuous sun chaser to go with it, the fall of the hammer. He's got a couple cavalry Pegasus, 2 snare casters. He's got the curve, right?
Okay.
Soldier of the Pantheon, also with the 1-drop.
Okay.
3 2-power 1-drops.
Yes.
Right into Spear of Heliod.
Whoa.
3 to pump all those guys up. Wingsteed Rider, and there we see Soldier of the Pantheon come out. Oh, but look down here in the multicolor section. A Crow and Hoplite, Annex and Cymede, another Annex and Cymede.
That's sick.
This is the red-white heroic deck we all dream of.
This is. All right, so let's see if he can put enough pressure on Geoff to kill him off. And Geoff, unfortunately, has kept a one-lander, as you do sometimes when you go down to 4 cards.
Yeah.
And now he's taking 4 damage in the air, or 4 damage total, and Wingsteed Rider to follow up. So huge pressure. That is a second swamp, though. I mean, if there's a Drown in Sorrow.
Oh, he does play Drown in Sorrow.
Yeah,
right.
Drown in Sorrow can get him out of this.
That is his out.
Wow.
He needs to, and it's got to come quick.
It does.
I mean, this is already 6 damage.
This is going to be interesting. Now, Daniel has not. Wow, and he's got Pharika's Cure, although that's actually a little risky there, making that play, because if Daniel Fournier...
Any instant speed combat trick would have completely blown him out.
It blows him out, and it also means that his Drown in Sorrow isn't as good. See, look at this. He's going to get a 3-for-1 if he hits a land here.
Does he have Drown in Sorrow in his hand?
Yeah, and he just drew a land, too. Do it. What are you waiting for? Maybe he doesn't. He must have. I'm like 99% sure I saw it. Boom!
Whoa.
Little slow roll there. Drown in Sorrow for the 3-for-1.
Oh, by the way, Scry.
Huge blowout here. And then this is, of course, a very important scry.
Daniel Fournier's like, what just happened? He mulliganed to 4. I had the beatdown curve to end all beatdown curves. There's basically 1 card in the format, I think, that could have saved Geoff Risi.
Yes. And now we're evened up again, and things are actually looking pretty decent because Geoff Risi has the Oak of Odunis, the Black Oak of Odunis.
Sure.
So he's going to be able to block indefinitely here and keep that Deathbellow Raider at bay. And he's stable. Like, Geoff Risi right now is looking just fine.
Not Snarecaster.
Close. So Snarecaster does get in an extra 2 points of damage here, though. So the pressure's still on.
I see Portent of Betrayal in Fournier's hand as well. So
Okay. Okay, so this is actually going to be very close then. This is going to be a Cavern Lampad. And unabashedly going to attack.
I mean, he has to attack with the Raider. So
what did he draw for the turn? A trick or something?
I mean, it's a white card. I couldn't quite make out what it was.
Okay.
Is it Cavalry Pegasus, maybe?
Yeah, that could be. So if you're Geoff,
which makes it mildly
you're looking to
surprising
trade
that the
here,
Snarecaster
right?
went in. Apparently not. Maybe he smells a trick.
Wow. I mean,
Not
don't
sure
you
what
just
Lampad's
make him
job
show
is.
you the trick?
Oh, loyal Pegasus. Okay.
It was a loyal pick. Jeez, Man, I'm surprised
you would have blocked Lampad on Snarecaster, or maybe double blocked Deathbellow.
I mean, he's got 3 cards in his hand, and
yeah, with no trick, he could have traded his Lampad for either of the other 2 creatures. But it's like a 4-drop. You don't want to trade it for a 2?
Oh, I want to trade that one for
when you're on 6. I mean, it would have been 8.
Yeah. And here's his second Cavern Lampad. Now, I think that Geoff Risi has a Grey Merchant in his hand and doesn't have the mana to cast it yet, but this is his plan. So this is why he didn't block.
Yeah, Grey Merchant makes trades a lot worse.
It does, but still, he's only gaining 1 of those life back that he just took 2 on. I think, maybe over the course of the game, because he's got to make a contingency plan for what if I don't draw a land.
And especially with Loyal Pegasus out there now, like trading off the other creatures, you can turn off the Loyal Pegasus by dealing with all the ground creatures.
Right. So I think we're going to see Portent here?
I would think so.
Yeah, because that's going to make blocking a lot worse for Geoff.
Yes.
And basically the game is now, can Daniel Fournier keep that Loyal Pegasus attacking? Oh, a follow of the hammer off the top. Oh, that's yucky.
Yeah, that
and
seems better than
immediately
Portent,
attacks
right?
with everybody. Yes.
Now he's set up to Portent. I mean, Portent to Betrayal next turn. So what are the blocks here?
See, unfortunately,
I think you trade Lampad for Snarecaster and block Death Bellow.
yeah. I mean, unfortunately,
I mean, that's better than double
Geoff,
blocking Death Bellow, I think.
Well, the problem is that Geoff doesn't have any mana. He can't pump his Black Oak here.
Right.
So
he needs a land for Grey Merchant.
he does, and he finds Guardians of Meletus off the top here, which
Does almost nothing. The good news is it doesn't
keeps him
attack for
alive.
much when Portent to Betrayal happens.
yes, and in fact, both of his creatures have Defender now.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of
And
funny.
can't attack, so it's actually a benefit to him that this is the case.
This is just 2 damage, and there's no way to kill the Minotaur.
There's no way to kill it right now. So it's land or bust just to stay alive here for Geoff, unless he can find a way to kill that Loyal Pegasus. If he can either find removal, there's a land.
Yeah, he's got to run out Grey Merchant.
Yeah, so he goes back up to 5 here.
The side events banner in the center of the room. On-demand standard number 2.
Geoff Risi trying to hang on from
Mulligan
a mulligan
to
to
four.
4 against an incredibly aggressive start
Yes.
from Daniel Fournier.
Mulligan to 4, but he basically got the game into pretty much top deck mode.
Yes.
And then Fournier top deck the Loyal Pegasus. Top deck slightly better.
And he just drew a land for his turn, leaving him with 2 lands in hand
All right, so
and a Portent of Betrayal.
So if Fournier just attacks, he'll get through 2 damage, but his Death Bellow is finally going to... No, it's still not going to die. Still
It will
only 2
not
power
die.
over there.
Yeah,
So he doesn't have to Portent here. If he Portents, it doesn't do anything.
right.
Yeah, no, this makes sense. Ping him for 2. You can Portent next turn. I think you play a land. Yeah, because you might top deck a spell you want to cast.
So this is a big draw step here for Geoff, but he is
with
stable
land.
now. Because if he Portents the Grey Merchant, he's still not dead. Geoff's still not dead.
Right, 2 walls to block.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fournier may need 1 more spell.
What is this?
War Chanter of Mogies.
Oh no. That doesn't get it done either, though. And another land off the top here for Daniel Fournier. So Geoff is alive.
Now, can he Portent to keep Death Bellow alive? He cannot, right? Because the black mana means the Oak can get a power.
Oak can get a power, yeah.
So there's 3 power on Fournier's side of the board, no
Yes.
matter how Daniel Portents, which means Death Bellow is going down. So you just send Death Bellow off to its death, get in the 2 from Pegasus, and then your
hope.
opponent's at 1 and you're holding Portent to Betrayal.
Yeah. Hope that they cast something with flying.
Oh, you know what? Well, it doesn't matter. Next turn, he can Portent to get a second attacker for the Loyal Pegasus. So Loyal Pegasus can go all the way. Like
You're right.
Yeah. He
you're
uses
totally
Portent
right,
just to
Randy.
get somebody to attack with next turn.
So Geoff Risi either needs to gain some life or find a way to kill Loyal Pegasus here, or he is going to lose. And man, it's so close.
Yes, so close.
Land go. Oh, another draw that Geoff could pick up is something like a Disciple of Phoenix to take away.
I think that was a land.
I think it was a swamp. But remember, Geoff doesn't know about the Portent.
Right.
And so he's in a position where he feels like he's stable. And
Yeah,
can
he's
start
ahead on
heading
board.
for 5 here, yeah.
He is for sure ahead on board. Fournier is just barely going to get there.
And he finds Coordinated Assault, which doesn't do anything here, but he just doesn't need it.
All he needs is an attacker to turn on the Pegasus. There's no flying defense on Geoff Risi's side of the board.
Wow, so close.
Yes.
If that was a land for Geoff, then this is game.
He actually gets to give his guy Intimidate here for whatever that's worth. But because first you get the guy, then he untaps, which triggers the Inspired. But not that it matters.
Right. Yep, and it does happen in order. Gain control of target creature, untap.
Then untap it, exactly.
And he says, sure, my Loyal Pegasus cannot be blocked.
What a crazy game.
Wow, insane.
Crazy.
Look at
Jeff.
Jeff.
Jeff is like, oh, so close. And Daniel's like, I can't believe I almost lost that game.
And Daniel, they're both laughing about how silly that was. It's a much different vibe than on our back table where Grego Grentz is in battle mode, and you see Brock Parker. That's how he always looks when he plays Magic.
Yeah.
He actually really enjoys it, playing Magic. But
I think I believe that.
you wouldn't know. That's his thinking face right there.
Sure.
He's just scowling.
It's a good scowl.
I like it.
If you wish to sign
But I love Fournier's deck. I can see, I mean, the guy's 10-0. I've got him, and he's up a game. His deck looks amazing. Like, that to me, that has the looks of a deck that's going to 3-0 pod 1.
It does indeed.
And all but lock up top 8.
Yeah.
modern noon event, please see the woman in the red and black
16 land, which seems right.
What do you think about this matchup, though? I mean, we saw Pharika's Cure, we saw Grey Merchant, and we saw some really heavy toughness defensive ground creatures. I mean, it feels like Geoff is the control deck and Daniel Fournier is the aggro.
Yes.
And I kind of like Geoff's chances based on what we saw.
Geoff matches up reasonably well, like relative to, you know, the quality of the, like where you would pick the cards in Geoff's deck. You know, Daniel's deck is it jumps off the page with how many just awesome cards. But even like Sedge Scorpion is good against that deck.
Yes.
You know, Sedge Scorpion will trade for whatever it is. I mean, I guess Annex and Samidi, he's got first strike, but
Yeah. And he did not actually see one of the 2 Annex and Simedes that Daniel Fournier has,
Yeah.
but if he had, he would be clutching those
2
Pharika's Cures.
2 Pharika's Cures. Those are
Close.
very good.
Yeah.
I mean, the 2 Cavern Land pads are not good. They're just too slow to be relevant in this matchup. Like, it's a 4-mana 2/2. It can eventually break a stalemate and win the game, but that's not Geoff Risi's problem. Yeah, Geoff Risi needs to draw the Drown in Sorrow again. He needs to draw, and he's got, you know, Black Oak. He's got a Servant of Timorat as well for the sort of high toughness blockers. He's got a Springleaf Drum for inspired shenanigans. Has an Asphyxiate that can also get Annex and Samidi.
Oh, yes. Finally punishing the scourge that is Vigilance.
I will grant you that many of the cards in Geoff's deck match up well. But I mean, basically just, okay, he's got some good removal for 2 Pharika's Cures and a Drown in Sorrow. I still like Daniel's side of this.
Yeah. Just being the one to put the pressure on and force Geoff to have the right answers at the right
Wise
times.
Man once said there are no wrong threats.
Right.
There's lots of wrong answers.
Yes.
No wrong threats.
And Daniel Fournier's deck is chock full of threats from what we see here.
I mean, it's not like the high toughness walls prevent Daniel from attacking. We saw he was just, you know, attacking into Guardians and Black Oak and bouncing.
Yep.
Pegasus chipping away. Like, if Daniel goes wide, which is a lot of what his deck can do, he's fine. And we saw no flying defense from Geoff Risi either. I mean, there's 2 Loyal Pegasus, there's 2 Cavalry Pegasus as well, and, you know, a smattering of humans that can head to the air. Yeah, I mean, Geoff's flying defense, he did kill the Wingsteed Rider with Pharika's Cure. But that's, I mean, his flying, I'm not sure he has a flyer in his list. He just has to kill them all.
I got to say, Daniel Fournier does not look like a man who is worried.
He looks like a man who drafted 2 Annex, Samidi, and a Crow and Hoplite.
Yes, he looks a lot more like
Soldier
that.
of the Pantheon, Spear of Heliod. How many rares are in his list? Does Wingsteed Rider go to... Does he count as an honorary rare? Probably not.
Probably not.
So just the 4.
Just an all-star common. Rashad, who won the back game? Pardon? Brock won game 1? Okay. You can see Greg is in... he's intense, you know, like his legs are going, he's in full thinking mode over there, but he's had a lot of success recently at GPs. He's definitely one of those guys that's kind of one to look out for. And he plays a lot of GPs too. All right, so let's see what real hands look like from both players. A Springleaf Drum, well, I guess Geoff did Mulligan.
He has a lot of inspired creatures in his deck.
Okay. What does he have? Like the War Chanter?
He has the War Chanter. He has the
what
Servant.
Else does he have? Okay, Servant, sure.
He has... has at least one other. Oh, he has the green one. Fairy
Oh,
fan.
geez, double Pegasus start here for Daniel Fournier, although it's a Cavalry and a Loyal Pegasus.
Still gets the job done.
It does. Now, this is where it gets interesting because Geoff actually has Farika's Cure in his hand and the mana to cast it.
Does not have the Drown and Sorrow.
Oh, man, he's also got a Viper's Kiss, though.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that came
see,
in from the
and
sideboard,
this
I
is
think.
where you can maneuver really nicely because now the Loyal Pegasus doesn't do anything, right?
Yeah.
He killed one creature, but he effectively took care of two.
Yeah.
And here is Leonin Snarecaster for no tap value here.
Just needs another attacker.
And is Geoff going to fire off the main phase?
Farika's Cure?
Yeah, you could look, because Daniel misses land drop.
You main phase. I mean, if you're going to cure the Snapcaster,
The Snapcaster.
The
Snarecaster.
Yes, then you main phase.
It's a 2-1 for 2, right?
Number
Yeah.
7.
Why do you let him untap there?
Servants meeting area in
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
this,
that seems-
this is unnecessarily risky. It also just guarantees that you take 2 from the Loyal Pegasus. Like,
He waited
regardless-
until after the attack. He didn't
Right.
even do it pre-combat.
Right, to make him use up his mana. Yeah. So that was
Yeah, I
a
would have done
misstep
that.
for Geoff.
I think you should do that main phase.
Yeah, he did it last game and he did it this game. He took a big risk with that. Now, in the first game, it made a little more sense just because he needed to take risks to try to get back in the game, even though I still wouldn't
Yeah.
have made that play because I actually want my opponent to play more creatures as opposed to pumping the ones he already had. But this time, he gets fully punished for that. He ends up taking 6 damage there that he didn't need to.
Yep. And his opponent still has the creature.
That's right.
I mean, he traded Farika's Cure for Battle-Wise Valor instead of the other creature that paired with Pegasus.
Yeah. And there's a Cavalry Pegasus now.
Yeah. So Springleaf Drum getting busy
Yep.
with Servant.
All right, so
Daniel
this thing's gonna
declines to
start
attack,
grinding.
which makes sense. He doesn't want to attack a 2-1 and do that 1-3.
Right.
He'll just Loyal Pegasus can take a turn off.
There's Black
Got a new
Oak.
buddy. Also, the new buddy, Cavalry Pegasus, can send Snarecaster to the air.
Oh, well, it's not a human.
Oh, it's Snarecaster's not human?
No, it's a cat. Meow.
My apologies.
No worries.
Attention player, last chance.
Ooh, there's a Drown in Sorrow, though, off of Read the Bones.
That
Yeah,
is a good one.
We'll take that
We'll
one.
keep that one. Put that one on top.
Yeah. Draw. Now, can he cast it this turn? He can, right? He can Springleaf
Springleaf
Drum?
Drums? Should he, though?
Yes. Fire it off.
You don't want to take 3?
I like taking 3 of my opponent's cards and putting them into his graveyard.
Everything Daniel Fournier has played in the entire match dies to it.
That's true. There it
3
is.
for 1's good enough.
Get it out of here.
I would have been tempted to slow roll that one.
Okay. I
He's
mean,
only got 2
I can
mana. He's
see
not
it.
going to play a 3 toughness creature. Like, we haven't seen a 3 toughness creature in his entire deck.
That is true. You make a compelling argument. I mean, he is taking some damage here, though. He's taking 3 in the air. That way.
Yeah. But now what's Daniel going to do? He's going to play a creature that could have died to Drown in Sorrow. In fact, he's going to play
got
2 of them.
He's got the exact same hand, basically, that he just had on the table.
Right.
He's got a Snarecaster and a Loyal Pegasus. And he's rebuilt. He does not
don't
have
have
to
to.
do
Yeah, it's a
that.
may.
That is a May ability.
Yeah, it can target itself, but it's a May.
I guess he figured he's not blocking anyway.
It's funny.
Maybe he's playing around Asphyxiate.
Even this. Oh, he is playing around Asphyxiate.
Yeah.
That's funny. No, you're right. It is correct to tap there
Yeah.
because of Asphyxiate.
All right, that's pretty aggressive there. Jeff is content
He's figured out to
keep-
do it main phase.
Yeah, he figured it out to not let that Loyal Pegasus get in there, not open up any more risk. He's going to attack with Servant. Servant, remember, was an 0-1 last time it attacked, so no damage was dealt. But he does get that
The untap trigger,
the
exactly.
Inspired, yeah. So what's in Jeff's hand? I see that he's got, a Black Oak, and I think he also has Boon of Erebos. A Crow and Hoplite off the top here for Daniel Fournier. So no big pressure from Geoff here, though. I mean, the Servant's going to do work and continue doing it, but it's not going to do anything too quickly here.
Right.
Did we see what he scried, by the way, with that Drown in Sorrow?
No, I didn't see which went to the bottom.
Number 3, please report to the side events banner in the center of the room. On demand, modern number 3, please report to the side events banner.
So he's gaining life off Servant. I would have slow rolled Drown in Sorrow for at least a turn.
You might be right. I mean, he would have taken 3 damage there.
I mean, the amusing part to me is that even if Daniel had played his spear, all his creatures were 1 toughness.
Yes.
They would have only gotten to 2. They still would have died.
No, you're right.
Not that Geoff knows about the spear.
No, I can see it. I can definitely see that. He takes 3 damage, and he says, okay, Daniel, you get 1 turn. If you want to commit anything else that's going to die to it, I'll take it.
Exactly.
And if you don't, then good on you, and now I'll do it.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm
fair.
suggesting.
That's definitely fair. And there's Annex and Cymedia off the top for Daniel Fournier.
He's also got the spear. He's
His
thinking
deck
about
is sweet.
Yes. If he goes spear, attack.
I mean, he's got some setup to do here, right? Like, Black Oak of Adunos is an 0-5. So he's not getting through that.
If he goes spear attack, the hoplite is what, a 4/3?
Yes, but it's still just running into an 0-5. So.
But the Pegasus gets in for 3 damage with that line. But I mean, I'm with you. I think setup makes sense. 4 damage is not all. 3 damage when your opponent's at 19,
I mean,
not all that exciting.
Black Oak does the Black Oak only tap other creatures to do its ability? Yeah, right. So he can only has access to 2 power here. So yeah, would have getting some damage.
Yeah,
but he
tap
decides
another untapped creature.
Yeah, so he wants to play Annex and Cymedia instead.
That seems fine.
What was that off the top? Is that Mortal's Resolve?
Yeah, I believe so.
So Geoff's got 2 combat tricks in his hand. A little awkward there, but he looks like he's going to be able to find a spot to use them, depending on how Daniel Fournier decides to proceed.
Daniel have coordinated assault?
He does. He's
pretty
got
good with
coordinated
Annex and
assault.
Samedi.
He has the spear, and he's got a dragon.
He can do you Dragon Mantle Annex and Samedi here?
I mean, maybe he just wants to keep his land drops flowing here. He flies.
Oh,
A hammer? It is, yeah.
He's just pinched on mana. He's still sitting on 3 lands.
Yeah, this whole game. I don't know that his curve goes a whole lot higher.
No, he runs 16 lands in this deck. It's not like he went all the way down to 15. Like
Yeah.
a lot of these decks, the red-white super aggro will go to 15. I like, especially with this card quality, go to 16. Your card quality is usually good enough that even if you draw 5 land, you're not going to just fall over and die or anything. So he can go spear to make everybody bigger. He can point something in Annex and Samedi to make everybody bigger. He can attack and then instant speed point something at Annex and Samedi. He elects for spear.
Yeah, he's got some building to do here.
Now, do you attack?
That's the question, and
I think yes.
yeah, he's in there.
Are there combat tricks that wreck him here? So
Well,
Annex and Samedi is 4 power first strike.
so yes, there are. I mean, it takes multiple combat tricks, but that's exactly what Geoff happens to have here. His opponent's tapped out.
Right, that's the drawback to playing the spear.
Right,
Is
that
you're
you don't get to
effectively
react.
all in. So Mortal's Resolve can give a creature +1/+1 and indestructible.
Yeah,
So how much power? Right now, there's 0 power on Geoff's side. He can
there's
get,
one.
There's 1 power. Sorry, the 1/3. So 2, and then Black Oak
3.
can get a 3rd power. What's
can
the
get-
other trick that he has?
He has Boon of Erebos, so he can get up to 5 power.
He can get up to 5 power.
Yeah,
So
indestructible
he
as
can
well.
kill Annex and Samedi?
Yes. Yes, he can.
That's the play, right?
I mean, I think that the play is normally when you can kill Annex and Cymedia, you do. That card is a big, big issue. And I don't know what Geoff's long game looks like here, but I do know that he needs to get there. Spear's probably a pretty big issue for Geoff, though.
Okay. I mean, does his
Yeah,
hand give him
not
anything to
that
do
that's
about
the
spear?
first-
His hand, we think it's land, boon, Mortal's Resolve?
Yeah. Though he does seem to be tanked out pretty hard here, and he's got his hand
I mean, he
face
can
down on the
block
table.
and take 3, but I don't know what that accomplishes. I guess he can try to kill the hoplite. No, all right, he's going to try to. Oh, he's going to double block. I mean, he's going to block both creatures. I don't think he can get the servant big enough to kill. Oh, maybe he can, because Annex and Samedi is 4/3,
4/3 first strike. Yep.
so he can get to 3 here. Servant is 1,
Well, that's not enough on its own, though, right?
but it makes it
Makes it a 2/4.
indestructible so that it survives first strike.
Uh-huh.
Like he needs it to survive first strike damage before it'll deal any damage.
But he's going to Boon of Erebos the Black Oak.
Interesting. So that'll kill the hoplite?
That will kill the hoplite,
Right, he's killing the hoplite instead of Annex and Samedi
and he's using Mortal's Resolve. Why?
to survive combat.
But if he doesn't play it, he can just regenerate his
A fine
servant.
point. Yes, he did the math wrong.
Okay.
He thought he was taking down Annex and Samedi.
Yeah, I think maybe he forgot the spear.
The sphere pumping up the toughness.
Ugh, that's brutal.
Oops.
I had went like it wasn't in the yard.
So Fournier looks like he's going to get.
Yeah, he could have just regenerated to survive combat. Yeah, he just did the math wrong.
Yeah.
Thought he got to take down both of them.
You agree there was no way.
That would have been a great block if he got to take on both of them.
Absolutely.
We're starting to draw the look at the card.
And he's got to pass the turn
Yeah,
back
now
here.
Fournier's not going to need to untap again. I mean, not attack tapped out. He's going to have coordinated assault. He's still only got the one mountain.
He does only
pretty
have the
annoying.
one. It is really annoying.
I mean, he wants to even just Dragon Mantle. Like, if he knew he had a mountain on top, he would Dragon Mantle, draw the mountain, but he wants access to coordinated assault here as a trick.
12 o'clock modern.
Okay, this block is just a bounce. Yeah, Pegasus hits for 3, that's fine. Now you probably post-combat Dragon's Mantle. Oh, he ships the turn. He's leaving up Fall.
Your pairings are up. On the Chandra board in the center of the room.
Right, he's just going to pass the turn. He drew Portent of Betrayal as well. So things look good for Daniel Fournier if the longer the game goes. He's got tons of action in his hand here.
Yeah, but I mean, he so desperately wants another mountain.
Yeah.
I might have Dragon Mantled there post-combat.
Oh, that's
Is that a last
interesting.
breath?
Yeah, he did.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's one way to deal with Servant of Timrat. He's going to do it right now.
Yeah.
Get that out of here.
Go away.
So that's going to exile it, remember, so no regeneration possible here.
8 Gorson to the side of that stage, please. 8 Gorson.
And there's not a ton to be gained by throwing Dragon Mantle on Annex and Simedi. Nor is there a lot.
Attention, everyone. Michael McClement.
Actually,
please come to the
doesn't
side.
coordinated
Dragon
assault.
Mantle the Pegasus.
Michael
Yeah, doesn't
McClement.
coordinated assault just kill?
Kill Black Oak?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. I mean, you can make an argument there for just
Yeah.
doing it, but I guess he's not really in a big hurry. He finds a flesh-mad steed, does Geoff, to complement his Black Oak. I mean, look, it's got to be frustrating that he's not drawing that second mountain, but at the same
doesn't
time,
need
his
them.
hand is insane.
And so's his board.
Yes.
He's winning on every axis.
Yeah.
His hand's insane. His opponent's basically out of gas. His board is insane.
I mean, does his job now just become like cast one of those per turn for the rest of the game?
Yeah, I would have cycled Dragon Mantle by now.
Okay, because he's got 5 red cards in his hand.
Yeah, and one mountain.
Like, if nothing changes, he can just play 1 per turn.
Now it's time.
Dragon Mantle, he's going to get a trigger.
Yep, trigger and a card. Mountain?
There
Oh,
it is,
there it
a
is.
mountain. And all of a sudden,
All right.
his entire hand is turned on.
Yes.
And he's going to be able to attack here. Remember, he plays that mountain pre-combat, so he can use it for one of his tricks or to pump with Dragon Mantle.
Right.
Annex and Simedi right now has 5 power.
And the Pegasus has 4?
Yep. Annex and Simedi also has Trample.
Yeah, so Geoff is looking at, he blocks with Black Oak, taps Flesh Mad to make it 6 toughness. I mean,
That's what he's looking at,
That's what
yes.
you have to do. I mean, you can't just take it. He's then going to get blown out by the Coordinated Assault.
Right.
Or the Titan Strength, whichever way Daniel wants to play it. Probably Coordinated Assault. But what are you going to do? You can't just take it. I mean, there's 9 power attacking you. I haven't seen Geoff's hand. There's not a lot
Which
of...
is kind of insane, because if Geoff does take it here, I mean, Daniel Fournier can Coordinated Assault and make it 13.
Oh, jeez.
You just bring him to 2 here? It's like... Yeah.
He took it.
Patrick Wong to the side of that stage, please. Patrick Wong to the side of that stage.
So it should have been 9, right? Bring him
That's
down to
what we
6.
got.
Yeah, okay. So there he goes to 6. And yeah, Daniel's like, sure, go. If you're not going to block.
Centaur Battlemaster.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we saw earlier that he had used that Mortal's Resolve
Right.
to no effect, and you know,
right.
that's a big deal now, right? I mean,
He would be
making
in better
an
shape with a Mortal's
indestructible
Resolve in his hand
7/7
right
on
now.
his hand would be would go a long way here.
I felt on the play.
Now, is Daniel Fournier gonna risk it and go for the fall of the hammer here? It looks like he's looking at it.
Thought that it was
I mean, his worst case scenario is not too awful.
Right. question is, does he have a way to target Battlemaster? Right, you just fall Battlemaster, which will, if it dies, taps the Steed.
Yeah, but it's interesting because even if he does target it, he's also got his what's it called? Portent of Betrayal in his hand too. So it's like, all right, I'll take your 6/6 and
Doesn't
hit
that
you
tap?
with it.
Is Fleshmad Steed tapped there?
That was end step, and it should be. Yeah, it should have been tapped. You're absolutely right, Randy. I think they just missed the trigger.
There are scenarios would be good, but like if I win it, we cannot.
So we'll get the judge to remember that, because that was on end step, so that thing should still be tapped. Yeah. All right, so they fixed that, and now we're going to attacks. But this actually changes things, because there's also an argument to be made for just stealing the wall here, right?
Oh, we could have Portent and won.
I mean, and just win the game, but I guess there's not a big...
Yeah, Titan Strength wins the game anyway.
All right, and that's going to do it. Daniel Fournier
Love that deck.
defeats Geoff Risi.
Every time I sit down to draft this format, I'm hoping I get to draft
That's the
Daniel's
deck you want? Yeah.
That is absolutely the deck you want every time.